The Ohio Serpent Mound might actually be a whale fossil, a gift from / to the first Eskimos. It was really large, but the skull seemed proportionate, and I noticed they have two smaller mounds to the side of the skull that could be a whale's fins. With the origin of who made it being a mystery, maybe it was the Eskimos did, and had to migrate south because it got too cold, or they ran out of whales, or they could not find food here, or so they were just asking the whales or Eskimos to stay north for food, etc. Might be a map for the story of the Bering Strait passage to here personified by a whale. Maybe a bit of an annoyance built in the story about not walking in a straight line by having to weave around the mountains and how heavy whales are. So that top formation could actually be that used to be there, could actually be the blowhole personifying the map of the Arctic Passage, and how there is food once you get to the other side of the coast of the Arctic. I like how it really looks like there's a depiction of a skeleton on top of a hill, or hill / cliff, that would be the body. I really hope it might also be the entrance to a salt cave that leads us to the Great Lakes, or at least how they could build one by dissolving salt. But what are the chances of that? This also means that the Aligator mound that is close could be a Pliosaur, or ichthyosaur, or however you pronounce it, or some other ancient marine animal that had 4 fins instead of 2 fins.
Time travel guide. Space, light. Mechanism of this level is space-like quantum eraser built zone. Mind, lucid dreaming, scent as mist. So it uses the shields of the quantum eraser experiment to build to shield your mind that is absorbed through the quantum eraser experiment behind your eye, and it sends your mind like a mist. I'd like you to describe that a little more here. How did I describe it? A simple mechanism that catapults to the next horizon. So our horizon is at like 18 billion meters, and that's like a beginning. So what you do is you have a shield, a flood of light wave formed particles that deflect the particles and light waves that hit your information stream and absorb that to your located or built sphere, which is your lens that forms at the edge of the observable universe from here. And so that's like a direct path that doesn't need to deflect anything because it's instantly rewritten throughout time to that source. Then, from that source, you're going to be in the past, 18 billion years in the past, and you want to go to the next horizon of current time or whenever. You're going to deflect and protect that information flow that has your shield that goes right to the source of the next horizon. And you can keep going horizon with this method. And so you can build multiple shields by hitting your source at a particular angle. Just like when you play pool. So if you have several shields, you just make sure you aim it right on the die. And it will fray the point. It will hit the pool ball. It will hit your shield. And it will fray and continue to protect your information flow. While your information flow is on the dime, on the money, deflecting. It's traveling to your next observer, your next lens, the sphere. And then, when it's time to return, you hit the same or a new observer at the edge of your our 18 billion year horizon, and then you'll be at the origin of that horizon, and then you fray again to get back to us, to present day, or to whenever you want to, because you can return before sin with this information flow. So your shield deflects all interference in the return path back to us. So the past, the strategy is, the mechanism is, you go straight to the edge. Then from the edge, you're all the way back at the beginning of the universe. And then you can aim that to any other horizon, to the next horizon. You can aim that at the next horizon, and then you can, you have to rearrange light particles so that you're at present day in that next horizon. So you fray from our edge, which is the beginning, and absorb all distortion and rearrange light particles to where you arrive to current day or before sin. And then you want to return, so let's just go a simple return and not worry about going further. So then you return back to our horizon, which is it's a straight shot back to the origin. And then you fray from there to get back to us at present day. You're rearranging the light particles to streamline the speed and get back to us before sin. So the mechanism is the same as projecting onto like a wall, like at the theater. Like you don't necessarily, it's just a set of mirrors. And the scan of where your next observer is going to be, like you're not going to know, but you can read whether it's returned or not, and your success or not, through a scan of where it potentially is. So by hitting it at different angles, by hitting our edge observer at different angles, it will scan the next horizon for another observer at that edge. It's a lot of sky to scan, but there's ways to construct it to where you can hit a large area very quickly. So it only takes a moment. to get to the next place, and then return. And once I can go into it further later. I've talked about it a lot before, but this is a nice thing to describe to you. Fighter Squadron Surf Exhibit. Squadron flies toward the beach, creating a wake that gets surfed. So when squadrons, which have all kinds of like air shows and demonstrations and executing strategies all the time, when they fly low to the ground, like on the water, going at those like speeds, it creates like waves and things. I think that would be a great thing for a surf show, like competitive surfing. You have the same exact wave. Like it'd be really a good way to create a control for a surf competition. That way you'd really know who's the best surfer, because all of them would be surfing the same exact wave every time. Especially with Air Force technology, like they know exactly the height that they would need to fly at to create the same exact wave every time. Which is the same technology they have to use all the time for wind currents and things. And I bet they have to use it for water currents as well. Tides and things. Be a great demonstration of how powerful the Air Force is. Water collection. 1 inch of 1 mile equals millions of gallons of water. So if you collect water from like a tarp, it can fill up the water tank real quick. And it's really a great way to be able to paint a continuous line around the world, around the U.S. One of the ways to fill the water tank is through that. Is through rain. Not only through the rivers and ocean. Cellar studio with clear reflecting pool roof at ground level. I'd like to have a studio that has the ground level. The studio's underground. It's a cellar. And the roof is clear. And the clear roof has a reflecting pool on it, so that it refracts the light onto the walls that I'm creating on it, and space that I'm creating. I really like the idea of being in a burned down house. That would be really awesome. Capture interesting spirit level imagery through water and electrical fields. capture interesting spirit level-esque imagery by taking photographs through drops of water at electrical fields and places of historical significance. Get some really interesting shots through refracting things. And yeah, it's just a really nice way to see things in a new light. And the electrical fields it really does do things like that. It really does. It doesn't. I'm not saying that ghosts exist or anything like that. Even though we can create them like quite easily with modern technology, like you can get really interesting like imagery that creates something that looks like a spirit of some kind. Supernatural resonance offering confinement. So there's a lot of people saying ghosts exist and things like that. Well, most of that stuff's like illusions and things, and it'd be nice to be able to study that with like several different methods that I've created that isolate the source of those illusions. And also, it would be a great way to create your own illusions as a place for your externalized mind to live. Like create your own ghost once your mind's externalized, you know. So, I like the idea of using like, I talked about the matrixing out of hieroglyphic-esque walls. Another thing that you can do is, you don't have to use hieroglyphic walls. You can use like, cave paintings in caves themselves. And like lived in spaces and walls and marks, and layer them out in the same way that a crime investigator lays things out. I'm kind of drawing a blank on like this mass plethora of work that I've done on optical illusions. And ways to actually create those with modern technology. One way is with mechanisms of light, created out of, and decomposed out of heat instead of plastic or glass or water. One thing that often I've noticed that you can really create really interesting shadows. So it's really limitless on times that at certain times of year, the ability to create like spiritual-esque illusions. I had this apartment complex, like I had this place in an apartment complex, and it was a townhouse or condominium or something. Anyway, it had like some woods behind it, right? And a particular time of the year, the light when sunset would shine through all the leaves in the woods, and it created the most fantastical like dance of shadows. It was like I've never seen anything like it before. It was like a fire and it didn't look like leaves at all, but it was like people and objects and things were dancing. It was a type of transparency from all the leaves and branches moving. That's you really can't I've never seen any way to create that. It just had the perfect amount of woods, the right angle of the light, and everything to where, and the right space from the woods to the wall. It's only on one wall, through the light, through the window, that you can see this. So there's lots of things like that happen. And people would be like, if that was a spirit, you know, would be like, oh, that's when the person died or something, some kind of thing. And it wasn't. It was just, it's really intricate, like, scene. You know, and people would be like, oh, that someone's life passed before their lives. So I wrote about that. I said that supernatural residents offering confinement may trick out hieroglyphic-esque walls, fade over generations, and making to find things. Search for the use of natural formation of spiritual illusions, like what might have caused disturbance naturally with reflection of light and smoke. Also, radio frequency shielding with copper boxes. Lots of strategies. Illusion of teleportation. This is a good one. Illusion of teleportation. 3 drones towing 1 screen, and 1 drone and an extra drone tows a projector. So you have a screen and you have a projector, and they're all towed by drones. So at night, in particular, a large screen towed won't be seen. You won't be able to notice that it's a screen. And it could be right up on you, right? Like it could be right in front of you, and you wouldn't know it. And the projector is able to project illusions of teleportation at extreme speed onto the screen in any form. So you can have like these light forms that dance around the sky really fast, or you can actually have like aircraft that like fly at you and then like all of a sudden teleport to another place like at super speeds, and it's just a screen sitting in front of you that you can't notice that it's just a screen. This is good for decoys and camouflage leading aircraft. So the screens can arrive first and quickly hover unknown over enemy and visually cloak us and distract with whatever drawing them to parts of the sky and away from and wherever we need them.